Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Volunteer Patrol. So this particular incident, I was off duty with the sheriff's office and was working my full-time job. However, I still kind of responded as a member of my unit with my volunteer patrol. But I'm at work, and this particular where I work, there's a road that leads out to a 4-lane road, as you see now, and a car was traveling westbound on the road. It was attempting to go southbound on this 4-lane road like you see I'm on right now. When the vehicle was stopped, the driver looked to their left and looked to the right and back to the left like you're supposed to, and did notice a car was turning onto the same road that she was on. They were going to turn eastbound on the road that she was facing westbound on, had just driven westbound on. So upon seeing that, the car had its turn signal, was already kind of making their turn into the intersection. She proceeded to pull out. Unfortunately, what she did not see was a motorcyclist. The motorcyclist was behind the car that was turning, and actually realized that the vehicle was turning and decided to go ahead and transition to the next lane over. Fortunately, that proved to be a very bad choice on the motorcyclist as well as the driver of the vehicle that was turning left into the intersection. Motorcyclist at the very last second slammed on his brakes, laid down his bike. The bike, from what I understood, impacted the driver's side front quarter panel, and the motorcyclist impacted his bike, as well as the vehicle that the bike had impacted. We estimated the driver was going at about 45, which was the speed limit, 45 mile an hour on the road. Unfortunately, the vehicle that turned was a smaller, lower to the ground passenger vehicle. There was no way of knowing that there was a motorcyclist behind that vehicle. The bike basically ended up underneath of the front bumper. And then the motorcyclist, I believe, was still on the same side as the driver's side. And I believe he may have bounced back away from the vehicle. I was the second person on scene. The first person that was on scene was a deputy, and it was actually a deputy buddy of mine. When I got to him, he was in progress of CPR, life-saving efforts on the motorcyclist. The driver of the vehicle was in the median. People who had stopped to render aid were comforting her, and she was very, very, very upset that what had just occurred. I ran over to, again, I was the second person on scene. I could hear fire rescue off in the distance. I ran over to my deputy buddy to begin. We're trained 2-man CPR. Obviously, it's a lot for one person to be doing CPR. He kind of motioned to me, no, stop, don't go hands on. He was, the motorcyclist was a medical term beyond help. He was basically just trying to comfort the people around him, to make it, try to help the motorcyclist. Unfortunately, he said that there was nothing that could be done. Fire rescue arrives on scene just a few minutes after I get waved off. I don't go hands on. I kind of step back and let them proceed. He was pronounced dead on scene. His injuries were just too massive. Very sad that the gentleman was on his way to work. I believe the driver was also on their way to work. Just very sad that both people, I want to say the ages were under 20, even 23 years old. Very young people whose both lives were affected by this accident. Obviously he lost, and hers have been in an accident now where a loss of life. She was so upset that when troopers arrived on scene, they basically got her information, and she didn't want medical help, but because of how emotionally distraught she was, they did basically send her home, or I'm sorry, to the hospital with a family member just for evaluation. She had just gone through that horrendous accident, and at this point now it's Florida. They treat it as a traffic homicide. The troopers, State Highway Patrol, will send what's called their traffic homicide investigators. They now investigate it as a homicide. That is all fatality accidents in the state of Florida that they treat it as such. They did their investigation, and then they do their next of kin notification. Unfortunately, when they were at the door to speak with the family, there was a huge language barrier. Another trooper had to respond code 3 to the house of the motorcyclist because there was a language barrier. Here's the trooper standing at the front door of this family's house, not able to explain why he's there. Very, very sad situation. This accident really got to me, actually. For other reasons, not because of the accident, but other reasons related to it, that I kind of felt that could have been prevented, even what actions that I had taken. But obviously I was reassured that there was nothing I could have done differently. There was nothing, I didn't do anything wrong. Just the outcome, this was very upsetting to me, very emotionally. It got to me. Just because of the age, I was so close to the age of these people as well. I just felt that I was the same age as them, that I could have been myself in either one of their shoes. But I do say that the look twice for motorcycles plays a part in this. Motorcyclists are very quick, they're very agile. You may not see them behind the vehicle. Always double check. Now, motorcyclists do drive like banshees sometimes, speeding up, lane splitting. I do not agree with that, but they just think they're unstoppable. Also, wheelies, and this, I see it all the time when I'm out and about on the road. I personally will never own a motorcycle anywhere in the state of Florida, anywhere actually, even up north, from even where I was in North Carolina. I just, unfortunately, I've had buddies up there that have been injured or been involved in car accidents on their motorcycle. Very, very dangerous, but just keep that in mind, that not only are you watching out for others, watch out for yourself. That accident very well could have been prevented on both parties. I feel, my personal opinion, it's just very sad. And to be honest, the gentleman, the motorcyclist, had all of his protective equipment. He had the airbag, or the protective vest. He had his helmet on. He had his riding boots. He had everything on. He even had the backpack on to also protect from those injuries. But they were just the accounting speed and the nature of the impact. There was really nothing they could have done for him. So I hope you guys continue to watch this series. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.